Hi, I'm just going to go through query 7 from Appendix 10 of the course spec. So it's page 133, I think. This is using the hotel database. So you've hopefully imported that into MariaDB. And let's just work through it. So it's an important skill, being able just to work through a query, work out what the results are. And of course, the more you do this, the better understanding you're going to have, and it'll be easier to write your own queries. So we've got just a few of these you should have tried. Right, let's work through it in order then. So remember, the from clause is evaluated first. So from resort and hotel, those are the two tables we're working with. Apologies, I'm just trying to fit them in there. That's why they're in weird positions. And it's a small data set, so we can see everything here. And then we're on to the where clause. And this has no criteria to filter out the rows. There's just an equijoin there. So basically, each of these rows from hotel is going to get returned in the result set. But where you see the resort ID, 168 in that case, it's going to link up. So each row will also have with it the resort name and resort type. So Glee Hotel, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then air and coastal. And then Lang Scots, all this stuff, air and coastal. So it all depends on the resort ID there. But you should understand that. Next, we're grouping by resort name. So I'm afraid I haven't done any sort of fancy animation here. But grouping by resort name, which is a bit weird. Why wouldn't we group by resort ID? We can do that and still display the resort name. Anyway, so all the ones that have air will be grouped together in a chunk. All the ones that have, so 212, Fort William, will be grouped together as a chunk. 406, so Glasgow, they'll all be grouped together. And 347, Portree, that one will be in a group on its own. So we end up with 4 groups there. And then once we've done the grouping, we move on to the having. So each group, we're deciding which groups to include in our result set based on this criterion here. So counting up the number of rows and checking if it's greater than or equal to 2. So I mean, you can see quickly by looking at this. This one, there are going to be 2 rows for air. Okay, so they're grouped by air, so they're going to be by resort name rather. So the air group has 2 rows in it, so that's going to be included. The Fort William group has 3 rows, so that'll be included. And the Glasgow group has 2 rows, that'll be included. Sorry, what is that? Portree group only has 1 row in it, so the count won't match that condition, so that won't be included. So we're going to get 3 rows effectively included in our results. And then we move back to the select clause. So basically, what fields are we actually going to display? So we want the resort name, so we're going to get air, Fort William, and Glasgow. And then with the alias number of hotels, we want the count of the number of rows. So we should finally end up with that. That should be what's displayed. And go and try it out in MariaDB, and that is what you should get. I know, because I double checked to make sure I hadn't gone astray. Okay, thanks. Hope that helps.